Here's what you can expect when you go on an IC trip.
After you've been approved as a team member for the partnership, you'll complete tasks and goals on your online profile to prepare you to go on the trip. We'll help you learn about the culture you'll be visiting and how to share the gospel with people there. Your team will get together either in person or online for regular meetings with your trip leader in the months leading up to the trip.
You're going to need a passport to travel overseas, so we can walk you through the process of getting one if you don't have one or if you need to renew yours. It's no secret that mission trips can also be expensive, so we'll give you tools and guidance for raising your funds.
IC will handle all of your arrangements for your flights, lodging, food, and even your ground transportation, so you can focus on praying and preparing to go share Jesus. We also want you to be confident and comforted knowing the IC staff and our prayer partners will be praying for you each and every day while you're traveling.
In the weeks leading up to the trip, you will be equipped with some simple tools for sharing the gospel, which will be relevant to the culture where you'll be working.
You can teach those to the believers you meet on the field and when you return home as well.
All right, you've raised your funds, you've completed your training, and you've finished all your team meetings, and now it's the exciting part, and it's time to go. You'll likely fly into Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, where you'll meet up with the rest of your team and depart for your ministry country. On travel days, it's super important to remain flexible in case of any delays or connection issues that may arise. Our coordinators are well prepared and well trained, and our office staff are on call to assist in case of any emergencies that may arise.
Remember, don't pack more than you can carry yourselves.
After the team settles into the hotel and gets all ready, we'll have an orientation meeting. We'll get together and talk about area-specific things that we can do in this culture to share the gospel.
IC and the local churches will arrange your food, lodging, and local transportation. Your IC coordinator will be there to handle any issues or questions that arise while your team is in the field.
At the beginning of the week, we'll gather together for an opening rally with local leaders and members of the participating churches. We'll worship together, hear words of encouragement, and meet the people that we'll be working with.
In most cases, you'll be partnered up with another U.S. team member. And together, you'll work with the local church to make your week of visitation.
These new friends have been preparing for months before you arrive. They'll be your guides and coaches as you learn their culture and work with them to share the good news of Jesus with their friends and family.
During the week, church members take us to share the gospel with people that they have been praying for. We invite them to follow Christ, and the church members follow up with them.
Sometimes you might be sharing your testimony with someone who grew up in a Christian culture and knows about Jesus, but doesn't have a relationship with him. Sometimes you might have the opportunity to share Jesus with someone who has never heard his name at all. In any case, your goal is to share your testimony, explain the gospel clearly, and invite them to follow Christ. No matter a person's background, it is all about the free gift of salvation by grace through faith in him. You might find yourself in a new country with a very different culture from your own. There's going to be new sights, smells, sounds, maybe even food that you're not used to. But we encourage you to follow the lead of your pastors, maybe even interpreters and your hosts, so you know how to culturally and appropriately share the gospel without offending anyone.
IC projects aren't vacations, but the locals always like to take us sightseeing, so you might see some pretty cool things.
On the last day of visitations, all the churches, visiting team members, and even some who accepted Christ that week will attend the closing rally. This is a time of worship, testimony, and praising God for what He did during this partnership.
Now that the partnership trip is complete, the work by the national churches you worked with continues. Those who accepted Christ during the week or would like to learn more about God will be contacted by the churches for follow-up. Discipleship continues long after you go home through Bible study, church attendance, fellowship with other believers, and teaching them Operation Andrew and how to share the gospel.
And that's it. You'll be back home eating familiar foods, sleeping in your own bed, going to your normal boring job, just kidding. And you can remember everything that God did on your trip, pray for people that you met, and consider how you can continue partnering with International Commission through praying, giving, and planning your next adventure.